Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku, back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about the October 12th Toonami new lineup that's coming up. That will be starting in a couple of weeks. Um, as you all know, this upcoming Saturday will be the last episode of Dragon Ball Super English Dub. For anyone who's been just watching the English dub, this will be the end of Dragon Ball Super. If you've been watching it since it was in Japan, when it was out in Japan, then obviously this isn't going to really be that much significant for you, but it will be significant to us dub-only watchers. Unless you watch both dubs, or both versions, then I guess, it's whatever. But anyways, so my prediction was right about Dragon Ball Super was going to stay on the Toonami lineup for the short-term future because, I mean, it's their biggest rating thing going right now. So Dragon Ball Super staying on board, makes sense, and that's I predicted that it was going to happen. I was telling people in my Discord. By the way, anybody wants any further updates, please check out my Discord, and we kind of update stuff frequently there for all dub latest news and all that stuff. It's really more of a dub in general type of thing, not just anime, but we have it called Anime English Dubs. But we do talk about American cartoons as well too. So we do that Discord. Also, like I said, for this Toonami lineup, it's quite interesting, the direction. I've been very critical the last couple of years with where Toonami is going. I was really worried about, I think it was a couple of years ago now, on the direction that Toonami is taking their the brand, so to speak. So I was kind of worried about where they're going with the direction of Toonami, because obviously Toonami is an action-packed block. It's not necessarily an anime block. It's really supposed to be an anime. It's supposed to be cartoon and anime. It's not supposed to just be. It's supposed to be action. It's actually no. It's actually supposed to be action-packed. That's always been the brand of Toonami, and they're kind of waving away from that, which kind of defeats the purpose of Toonami, because Toonami is supposed to be action, and that's the reason why Toonami was canceled the first time, was because they started to go away from their identity, and ratings started to slip, and lo and behold, it got canceled. So, as someone who has been watching Toonami since 2000, actually no, 1999, late 1999, I have rights to be worried about where they're going. And if you look at the ratings, kind of fears to what I've been worrying about for a while now. And it also starts from the top of these lineups here. And we're looking at them right now. And this is the biggest issue with Toonami right now. So Dragon Ball Super will do reruns. I don't know if it's going to be for the start of the arc that they currently are in, or they're just completely going to the beginning of Dragon Ball Super. But it will still be there, regardless. So then at 11:30. You got the season premiere of Season 2 One Punch Man. I won't be watching that because I don't like One Punch Man. If you like it, that's fine, but I think One Punch Man is overrated, and wankers will keep wanking. They're stupid crap. Anyways, midnight. We have Dr. Stone. Very, very good show. I was kind of surprised that I like this show, but very, very good show. Very, very good show, and I would recommend checking it out. Biggest problem with Dr. Stone is Toonami is 5 episodes, I think it's 5 or 4 episodes behind the Funimation Now streaming app. So if you have the Funimation Now, you might as well just watch it on there, because once again, Toonami gets a show that is basically a rerun to most people by the time they get it, which is why I keep telling people they need to get premiere rights to these shows like they did with Attack on Titan. But no, we're not going to do that. Anyways, sorry about that. 12:30, we got Fire Force. Another good show. I didn't even know if I was going to like this or not, but I actually do. Like Fire Force. Very, very surprising. But after I found out the backstory about Fire Force, that it actually was created by the creator of Soul Eater, it didn't surprise me, actually, after that. I was like... actually, looking at the artwork, I was actually like, yeah, you know what? This actually does look like Soul Eater. So, Fire Force is very interesting. Very, very different. Kind of different type of tone, but it has a lot of action in there. Good show. Now, again, this is on the Funimation Now. Before Toonami, it is a little more lenient because it's only about, I think, 2 episodes behind Funimation. But still, nonetheless, it is once again another show that isn't premiering exclusively on Toonami like it should be, when you're acquiring all these properties, which again is a mistake by Toonami. Now, Fire Force is actually on a delay for the next 2 weeks. Now, obviously, Dragon Ball Super had a marathon last week, so when it comes back, it will only be I think an episode behind where Funimation Now is at, but still, nonetheless, I don't know what they're gonna do after that. Since they're airing this, they're gonna be airing, another episode this week. So yeah, not exactly sure where Fire Force is going. Maybe they'll eventually get to a premiere thing with Fire Force, but not holding my breath on it. Food Wars. I was very critical on Food Wars in the beginning, because again, it's not an action anime and really shouldn't be on the block. I still stand by that, by the way. It's not really a Toonami show. It's more of a competitors type show. But if you're really into it, I would check it out on Hulu. It is on Hulu. If you have Hulu, a lot of people have Hulu. And it's also on High Drive. The entirety first 2 seasons, English dub of Food Wars is on Hulu, and is on High Drive, which is the people that make the dub, is exclusive streaming service. So there's that. But it's not really an action show. It has its moments of action, but it's not really in the action you're thinking, because again, it's basically food. It's food eating contest, essentially. It's not that bad of an anime, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was going to be much worse than I expected. But it's not as bad as I thought it would be. As a matter of fact, it's actually pretty good. I actually ended up watching all 2 seasons of it on Hulu. Season 3 is going to be out this January. I don't know if it's going to be on streaming services right away or not, but they are making a Season 3 that will be available on DVD and Blu-ray in January, or I think January, early parts of 2020. Don't know anything about the Season 4 dub because the subs are already out for these things, so like I said, there's a lot of crap going on, and that's really all I could say on that. But again, it is another example of Toonami not getting a premiere rights to Food Wars, and it is another example of Toonami. Well, also it's another example of Toonami missing out, because if season 3 is coming out in 2020, early parts of 2020, obviously they're not going to have enough time to get to the point where Food War will currently be at in the dub. So again, it makes it utterly pointless. Okay, so now 1:30 a.m. they have Dragon Slayer, which is a season premiere. I don't exactly know if it's a season premiere. I don't really know that much about Dragon Slayers, if the show is airing. I don't know who's doing it. I think Funimation is doing it, but I'd have to check on that if Funimation is doing it. Because if Funimation is doing it, they probably already have started airing it, which again is dumb on Toonami's part, because again, why are you airing something that you don't get the goddamn exclusive premiere rights to? It doesn't make business sense. Alright, I know somebody said, well, there's not that many options. It's like, yes, there is. You pay money, you get the right. Period. They did it with Dragon Ball Super. They did it with Attack on Titans. They can do it with these other shows. They just don't want to. There's no excuse. I don't care what Jason said or what anyone else says. It's not rocket science. There are very easy ways to do it. You've done it with other shows. You did it with Space Dandy, too. Space Dandy, I think, wasn't Space Dandy airing like on Toonami, like exclusively even before the Japanese versions came out? So yeah, don't even give me this bullcrap excuse that they don't have the means to do it. They do, they choose not to. That is the difference. Okay, guys? That is the difference. Okay? They do have the means. Okay? They just choose not to. Period. End of story. I'm sick of hearing these dumb arguments that are put towards Toonami. In their excuses. Didn't have excuses back then, they shouldn't have excuses now. Okay? You guys know I'm a huge Toonami fan. I've been watching this stuff since 1999. I have been a big supporter of Toonami. It's what, one of the gateways things to anime. But I'm not going to come out here and just blindly praise what they're doing when I know what they're doing is wrong. That's how it works here, guys. Okay? So let's get into the 2 a.m. Black Clover. Again, I think they're 8 or 9 episodes behind the Funimation now. You already know the story about this. So again, but again, with Black Clover, it just keeps going on and on. Black Clover has never had a break. They went right from season 1 to season 2 a week later, with no hiatus. So Black Clover is probably going to be in the long haul. So Toonami's probably never going to catch up to them. This was because of the Crunchyroll Funimation partnership at the time that was going on when they first aired Black Clover. It was a late agreement, and that's why they couldn't get it out premierly, though I'm still skeptical about if they would have regardless, based on all these other new shows that they don't do. But that was the statement about that. It was a late agreement. And since now Crunchyroll and Funimation aren't really together anymore, they are still together with this show, but they are not together with other shows. There's probably still a couple of shows that they still have to work together because they have joint license to. Black Clover is one of them, so they still work together with the home media releases. They both sell them in their shops and stuff like that. So they both have joint license to it. Crunchyroll has the sub rights, and Funimation has the dub rights. So that's kind of where it stands right now, and it probably is going to be how it stands, because obviously the show is still actively on Toonami, and it's still actively coming out on Funimation and Crunchyroll for both versions. So that's probably how it's going to stand, especially since they just announced that Black Clover is going to just keep continuing on. So Season 2 is going to be even longer than Season 1. Season 1 was officially 51 episodes. Season 2 is going to be longer than a standard Season 2 season, which is typically at the most 51 episodes. So Black Clover is going to be completely extended. So with Black Clover, Toonami probably will never catch up unless Black Clover decides to take a hiatus after whenever they decide to finish Season 2, which we don't know when that will be. So they just did their 100th episode on the Funimation Now this past Sunday. That's when it airs. That's when the English dub airs. So we don't know when Black Clover will catch up on Toonami because of this. Now let's get into the show that actually should be airing earlier in the block, and that's Boruto Naruto The Next Generation, which airs at 2:30 a.m. This is currently the only show on the block, unless Demon Slayer is not airing on another streaming service. Currently, well, and One Punch Man, I guess, too, would be once it comes up. But currently, right now, as it stands, is, well, and Lupin, I'm sorry. Okay, so there are a couple others, but Boruto the Naruto Next Generation is one of the fewest shows on Toonami that is a premiere show. No streaming service aired it beforehand. No someone else aired it beforehand. Boruto Naruto The Next Generation literally has been on Toonami as a premiere exclusive show. And because of this, it should definitely be airing in the early parts of the block. It originally, I think for the first 30 episodes, was airing at 11:30, and then they moved it. And it's been at, the later half of the block ever since, being completely mistreated, which really surprises me since Naruto was a huge Toonami property. Back in the later parts of the Cartoon Network era of Toonami, you'd think they'd be treating Boruto the same as they treat Dragon Ball Super. Since Naruto really kind of helped Toonami when Dragon Ball Z was done and when GT was done. Naruto really kind of picked up the load for Toonami and has a huge fan base and association with Toonami. And so it being mistreated like this and being shifted down to the last half of the block, to me, is kind of really disrespectful to Naruto. But that's what they're doing, and it really surprises me. But Boruto is currently airing, and it's getting very good right now. They're getting ready for the tuning exam, so we'll see where that goes. I think they're getting ready to be near where the movie takes place, the original Boruto movie takes place. So we'll see and look forward to what's going on there. 3:30 a.m. they have Naruto Shippuden, the sequel to Naruto, the anime. Naruto Shippuden, like I said, it's all reruns. Unfortunately, you have to buy the episodes, the dubbed episodes, because there are no streaming platforms that have the English dub out there. You would have to, buy them either through like the PlayStation, like for $1.99, or digital episodes, or you gotta you buy the episodes. I rented the DVDs through the library. That's one way I guess you can do it, because the DVDs are out there for the dubbed episodes, so you can finish up the Naruto Shippuden series, which makes it pointless to why it's on Toonami at this point. But obviously Toonami doesn't give a shit that they're showing this while they're showing Boruto, and giving away spoilers and all that. Yeah, so that's it. But Naruto's still good. It's still a good show to watch, even if you've already watched it. I'm assuming most people have, with different means, since the dubbed episodes are out there. But yeah, that's kind of where that's kind of where that show's at. 3:30 a.m. you got Lupin the Third Part 5. I believe this is a premiere season. I don't think this is on any other streaming service currently. So there's that. It's been an okay one. The Lupin's been an okay one. I just don't get why they just completely ignore everything from part 4. Um, what happened to his wife? You know, and then no mention of his wife in this series. Freaking it doesn't make sense, but whatever. I guess it's not supposed to be taken seriously, so whatever. But there's that for you Lupin fans out there that are interested in that. It's still going to be there for you. And then we finish off the block at 4 a.m. with My Hero Academia, which right now I guess is still reruns, but I believe My Hero Academia is going to be showing new episodes soon on the Funimation Now. So once again, My Hero Academia is essentially getting buried here because Toonami doesn't want to show My Hero because My Hero is not going to be showing premiere exclusive to Toonami, which is what I think Jason DeMarco and Toonami wants. I don't believe what he has been saying about why My Hero Academia was not watched. He's saying that not enough people watched that. We looked at the ratings before when it was moved at 10:30, guys. The ratings were good, and it was a rerunted show. I mean, it was the second second highest rated show at the time, only behind Dragon Ball Super. Now, some people are comparing previous numbers from previous years to why My Hero Academia was moved. This to me is not a good reason. And here's why this is not a good reason. Because your expectations for a show should be what the numbers are for what the show is currently being aired. My Hero Academia, for a rerun show, was putting up numbers that were comparable to Dragon Ball Super. Let that sink in. Okay? A rerunted show. Now, if you put a new episode, a premiere new episode of My Hero Academia at 10:30, right? At 10:30, you're going to tell me the numbers weren't going to go up? Bullshit. If you tell me that, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. Because Samurai Jack was doing that, and it got the numbers, and it was right up there with Dragon Ball Super, and I think there was one week it actually beat Dragon Ball Super, as much as that's hard for me to admit. But Samurai Jack was right up there every week with Dragon Ball Super. So I don't want to hear this bullshit argument that My Hero cannot compete against Dragon Ball Super for premiere episodes. Because if it's getting that much for reruns, when you can literally watch it at any time on the Funimation Now, might I add, don't tell me that it wouldn't have comparable numbers if it had a premiere exclusive rights. This is Toonami making a classic case to why something was pulled with no justifiable reason. They just have to come up with a reason that makes sense, even though it's been clearly debunked multiple times already. So, that's my take on this lineup right now. Currently, as it stands, there really isn't that much to offer besides shows that are currently being premiered. But all these other shows you can literally watch on the Funimation Now exclusively. The only one I would caution about, and this is getting back to Fire Force, is some of the censorship. Toonami's version does have a censored version in one of the episodes, and it does still maintain that censorship on their streaming service, their website streaming service on AdultSwim.com, which I never really covered this, but I do agree with that censorship. I think it is a bad scene, and I'm surprised, honestly, Funimation kept it on the Funimation Now. But if you want to watch the unedited, censored episode 3 of, I believe it was episode 3 of Fire Force, that's on you. But I, for one, did not like that scene, and I actually am happy that Toonami censored it. This is why censorship needs to stay. I'm not condoning every censorship, because there are a lot of censorships I don't agree with. But there are some times, in some cases, where censorship is needed, and that episode where the main character does something that I'm not going to even get into, but you know, it's just bad. It was just bad, and it's something that should not have been shown, and it's something that I don't think should have been animated. To be completely honest with you, there's different ways they could have done it, but that's my take on it. I know a lot of people were bitching about it. That is a censorship that was justifiable, and I don't care what anyone says. I don't agree with that decision. I don't agree with that being animated that way. Because that dude, the dude was a freaking stranger to said person at the time, and it just makes it even worse for me to seeing that. But like I said, with Fire Force, I would be caution about, because I don't know if there's anything else that happens similar to that, like in the future episodes. But I would be caution to that, to refer back to the Toonami version for Fire Force, if there is a significance of things like that, because those things should not be done on anime or anything in general, in my opinion. But that's really the only one I think you'd have to really worry about right now that I could think of. But yeah, guys, that's my take on the new lineup. It doesn't look very promising, with the exception of a couple. Toonami really needs to get, I keep saying this all the time, and I'll say it until someone listens. They need to get action shows, and they need to get premiere exclusive rights shows, like they do with Dragon Ball Super, like they do with Attack on Titan, like they do with Boruto. That's what they need. They can't be on streaming services already. They need to be something that they can pick up. And they can do it. They have the money. They have the resources. I don't want to hear this bullcrap excuse that they don't have the money and they don't have the resources. They're a billion-dollar company. Turner Broadcasting is a billion-dollar company, which is owned by Adult Swim, or Adult Swim's being owned by them. And they really need to get more into that, especially with them losing their original programming. I think they're losing Family Guide in a couple of years or something, because Disney owns it now, and they want to pull a lot of the programmings that were produced by Fox that are on Adult Swim, because they own it. So, with a lot of these shows that are going and are leaving Adult Swim in the next couple of years, they really should really start getting more premiere stuff for Toonami, and kind of pleasing the fans like they should be. So that's my take on this, guys. In closing, let me know what you guys think of this lineup. And if you are in my Discord chat, please make sure to leave a comment here and not just comment on my Discord, because this does create discretion on my channel as well. So give me a like, comment, and also click that notification bell if you are a subscriber to me, and also if you're not a subscriber to me, please subscribe to me and click the notification bell for all the latest content. That is about it, guys. Comment, rate, and I'm out. I'm BSS Ultimate Goku, and out of here. Peace!